Let's get ready while I overshare how it feels being in your late teens, because I am 19 years old and oh my god, I have been feeling a lot of things lately and we need to unpack all of these. And by the way, I'm literally getting ready for nothing right now. Like it's 11 p.m. I should be in my bed, I should be in my pajamas. Well, I am in my pajamas, but I am definitely not sleeping. So basically, I am a 19-year-old, if you may or may not know that. And this is my last year as a teenager. Like in February 2027, I will be 20 years old. And oh my god, the thought of being 20 is literally so scary. Every single one of my friends, I have been ranting about this, like, oh, I don't want to be 20, even though I have like more than 6 months left, but still, I'm like very nervous. And even though I'm very excited for having a grand 20th birthday party, but I'm still very, very nervous about being 20, because like I am 19 and I have like no shit figured out whatsoever. Okay, but like going further in, like let's talk about 19. If you are a teenager, especially like 18 to 19 years old, you will like definitely relate with what I'm trying to say, because all of these points are literally from my own experience, from what I have been like dealing with from the past like 1 year 6 months ish, like this 18 and 19 kind of age gap. Also guys, two things before we start: nobody is gonna judge how I look when I like remove my specs, because I'm literally blind. I cannot see, for God's sake, okay? I have like a -8 or something of like a specs number, so I can't see. So my eyes are always wobbly and seeing here and there. So if I'm not looking in the camera, please know that's why. And secondly, we are not judging how I do my makeup, okay? I'm still learning it, so that is like a whole different topic. Like, let's just talk, okay? Nobody is going to judge my face and what I do with it. First is, I'll say like the most obvious one is how you feel when you are like have passed this age of 18 but you are still not 20 yet. So you are like just kind of stuck in this phase where you are like not a kid anymore, but you're also not an adult, like a proper adult. So you're just like stuck in this phase where you are expected to act mature, not a kid anymore, act a certain way, but you're still not adult and you're still not given enough freedom. So how are you going to act a certain way if you're not given a certain amount of freedom? I feel this so much, like I'm not a kid anymore, like I have to act a certain way, I have to be like a certain way, you know. I can't just be immature person who does everything impulsively. But again, I am not an adult, I am not, you know, trusted enough with some decisions. Like for example, let's say I want to move out and like live completely alone, but I'm not allowed to do that because obviously I'm not adult enough, but I am still living out of my house for my future studies. So like, you know, I'm kind of confused. Honestly, I do get where our parents are coming from, like, you know, being all these protective things of like not giving us the full freedom of being an adult, because obviously it's hard and like you can regret it sometimes. But also being stuck in this like weird position or like weird situation where you are just not an adult, not a kid, you are just stuck. Like as a teenager, I feel so stuck because I am not a kid. I want to do some things like, you know, as an adult person does, but obviously I have to do them in a certain extent or a certain limit because I'm not allowed to be fully adult. So that kind of blows me away. Secondly, I kind of relate with this one a little too much. Friendships starts changing without no fights, you know, you just drift apart. And I do feel like this is the age where people do drift apart. Like, you know, colleges start and life happens and whatsoever, like people move to different cities for colleges and you can't stay with every single person that you stayed contact within. But again, I feel like this is such a weird phase because it's not just like you guys got into a fight, you just like randomly stopped texting or like started texting less with each other, because obviously priorities change when you get, you know, into this weird phase. And I keep saying this is weird because honestly it feels very weird, because a lot of people disappear from your life when you're like in this stage of your life. I won't say I am a lot mad about it, because obviously there is a reason for everything that happens. One friendship goes away, another comes along, and it's just the part of the life. But it kind of saddens me to a bit, because what do you mean you grew up with a person when you were in school, you used to be inseparable, and now you just don't talk anymore? Yeah, it feels very weird. It honestly feels more saddening than, you know, just weird or whatever. Like especially for me, friendship means a lot because I'm like a big friendship person. I don't know how to like, you know, put that into context. I value friendship a little too much, and like I get hurt very easily when one of my friends betray me or like something I don't expect from someone happens. And I just put a lot of love into my friendship. So yeah, Maybe that's why it hurts a little too much. Alright, that's the part of life. I was not lying, guys, when I said I don't know shit about makeup, because look at this, like, what the hell. Third thing is how motivation comes and leaves in extremes. And this feels like a personal attack to me because I, oh wow, where do I start? I am the kind of person who gets motivated. Like, when I am motivated, I am filming a YouTube video in like literally 11 p.m. in the night. But when I am lazy, I am scrolling in my bed, I'm scrolling reels for like 5 hours straight. There's no in between. Like, there's always this one side or the other side, like in very extreme. And I feel like most of the people at our age have that. Like, we don't have a balance. And like, some people do, some people have their shit figured out, like me. But yeah, I do feel like people our age always have this weird extremes. Like, either we are way too disciplined, way too motivated to do shit, like we don't sleep all night, grinding hard and building stuff and just doing something amazing with our lives, or we are just unemployed doing nothing, like literally nothing. And these kind of extremes also come with, like, sudden like wake up call or something. Like, you're scrolling a reel and this one thing comes up, how a guy changed his life with, I don't know, 2 days or something. So you are like, okay, yeah, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do this, and you are literally super motivated to change your life full 360 and like start doing stuff. And like, after an hour of figuring out like you can't do this shit, you're back to scrolling. Because it happens with me, guys. Tell me if it happens with you also, but it definitely happens with me. The next thing is overthinking, and I feel like I don't even have to explain this thing because it's very obvious. Not just overthinking about like your future, but like everything in general. I am a big overthinker and I literally overthink every situation, like up to 10 level max. Either I'm like very chill about a situation, I don't think about it at all, or I'm just panicking and overthinking to like 10x max. Like, there is no in between. And especially during this time, overthinking regarding future is just at its peak, because obviously 20s are gonna start and you are going to be an adult. You have to, you need to get your shit together, and here you are unemployed, you have no internships, you have nothing. I mean, some of you may do. Most of us, we are like just figuring out about future, what are we gonna do. And if you are like me and you have no idea who you're supposed to be in the future. When I was a kid, I was supposed to be a Barbie, a princess, an astronaut, a musician, a actor, a fashion designer, like literally every single thing I can be on this earth. So if you're like me and you still haven't figured out your shit together, like what are you going to be in the future, then this overthinking is like to the max. Because I'm just here going through my day and this random wave of overthinking comes in, like, in the next 2 to 3 years you're gonna be like fully employed, like you're gonna need to be fully employed and work and just create a life for yourself. How am I gonna do that? I always feel like whenever I'm thinking about my future, like overthinking about my future, I feel like a little kid. But of course, I am not a little kid, I am supposed to act grown up even though I'm not fully grown up. And being in your late teens is so freaking hard. So if you're someone who is still like below 15, I'm so happy for you. Like, you are so lucky right now. Being in your late teens is so freaking hard, guys. And especially when you look around yourself and all these 19 years old are doing way better job than you are cooked then. And also if you have a LinkedIn. Oh my god, can we talk about LinkedIn? Why are people so successful on LinkedIn? Is LinkedIn an app for successful people or what? Because whenever I open LinkedIn, I am like, oh, this person did this person did that. I feel so underachieved, undermotivated, and I feel like I am doing everything wrong in my life. I hate LinkedIn for that reason. Even though it's a very useful app, but I still hate LinkedIn. The next thing is looks. Let me emphasize on that first. You are perfect the way you look, guys. Like, you don't need to compare yourself to anyone. And trust me, as a person who has compared themselves to a lot of people, you don't have to, you don't need to. Like, it's just useless. At this phase and age we are at, mostly compare our looks to everybody, because this is the point where we start getting cautious about our looks, or like starting maintaining our looks, or start putting efforts about it, or just thinking about it. Because then you're like still a kid in your school, going like 40 degree ki heat mein school, like all sweaty and stuff in your uniform, like nobody cares. This is the kind of age where you start thinking about your looks, people start judging you by your looks, and you like kind of start putting effort into your looks. And at this point of life, like at this stage of life, you are getting judged constantly by your looks, you yourself, and people start thinking and like judging you by your looks. And not just in public, also in private, you think a lot about your looks at this stage of life, even in private. Like whenever you're looking yourself in the mirror, you're like, oh my god, this looks good, this looks bad, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, and every single thing that you can think wrong about your body happens at this phase of life. I mean, it's a constant battle with yourself. But what I would like to suggest is, don't compare yourself to anybody. They are not you, you are not them. Every single person is different, and comparing yourself to them because of their looks is literally stupidity, and it's gonna waste you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of mental thinking. So yeah, just don't do it, please. Okay, the next thing is, and I feel like every Gen Z and every single person on this planet earth relate with this thing, feeling productive only when you're about to sleep, like at nights. I literally don't know what is wrong with our Gen Z generation. Like most of us literally feel productive only during the nights, and like I don't know what is the reason for that. Like for me, I am a night person, so I can stay awake during the nights for a long period of time. So like that is when I feel productive. It's 1 a.m and I am supposed to be sleeping right now, but of course not, I am doing everything else. I have seen it with like the entire Gen Z thing, like the entire Gen Z generation, that all of us are like late owls, and all of us works better and be productive when we are like about to sleep and we should be sleeping. My face literally looks like I have no makeup on, because I have done nothing that will make my face look significantly different. I did not even blend my concealer properly. That's how bad I am at makeup. But okay guys, I'm learning. This is the thing you do at your teens, okay? You start learning things, and I am learning how to do makeup, okay? At least I'm learning. Okay, so the next and last thing in my list is how once you are a teen, you start looking back at memories from 3 to 4 years ago, when you were just starting to be a teen and you just entered this teenage, and just remembering how cringe you were. Because oh my god, I do this all the time. I had Snapchat back from like 2019, so maybe when I was, I don't know, 14, 13 years old, and I had weird snaps of me everywhere on the Snapchat with this weird different filters. And whenever I look back at those, I judge myself so hard, because no way like I was this cringe in like my 8th grade and nobody said a single thing about that. Maybe not to my face, okay, but definitely behind my back, because I was hella cringe, okay? To be cringe is to be free. So I do feel like everybody had this weird cringe phase in their life, and when they look back at it, they're like, who the hell is that? Like, I know I am. Just growing out of that cringe phase was a part of life that eventually happened. So yeah, if you're just someone who turned a teenager, you're definitely going to remember this moment when you're like in your late teens. But to be honest, I will say that kids these days don't have teenage, okay? Like they don't get the teenage we'd have, like the pimples and the cringe and weird faces. They're just born cool. Like I am so jealous, guys. Whenever I apply lipstick, I feel like I just evoke a alter ego of myself, like who is she? But yeah guys, that is it. That is some of the things I feel like you go through when you are in your late teens, going to be an adult soon. And yeah, to all the 18 and 19 years old out there who are just figuring out life just like me, I hope you all make it. This is how the makeup turned out, guys. What do you all think? Yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked listening to me yap about being a 19-year-old, and yeah, I hope you liked this video. Take care.